Yeah, striations, baby. You know about the striations in the chest and the us bodybuilders know about that. You know, Jalen Hurts had a lot of striations.
Us bodybuilders.
For a shakedown. Prepare for a shakedown. Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down.
One of the things that came out of the OTAs, though, that I want to talk to you about is Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts was one of the things that pretty much people were impressed with coming out. He changed his throwing motion. He was been throwing some deep balls. Looks like that's much improved. Yes, we got no pads on, all those things. They got to play. They got to get hit. But what are your thoughts from what you've heard of Jalen Hurts so far?
I mean, even I heard his arm is looking really good. I mean, he's throwing to Miles Sanders really well, throwing to the running backs. I mean, his deep ball looks really good. From what we're hearing from Nick and Shane Steichen right now, his arm has improved by a mile. I mean, not talking like 10%. I mean, it has. He's taken that step forward, and I got to see this. Hearing it is great. And what they're going to tell the media is what they're going to tell the media. They're not going to throw him under the bus or say he's throwing really bad. But I feel like I have a good gut feeling that he is throwing very well. And I think it was only, all of OTAs, I think it was only like maybe one or two incompletions, maybe not even that. So he did really well this OTAs.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that's what they said. Look, you can't put a lot of stock into OTAs. I totally get it. But there are certain things that you can tell, right? And I think his throwing motion, the fact that he's throwing seems like a better deep ball, I think that's a big deal. You know what I mean? Here's a guy that was drafted as the backup, and now he's potentially a franchise quarterback. Time will tell, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Do you think that he needs a statistical number or a certain amount of wins? What does he need to be the franchise guy?
I think we need to do the eye test. I think we need to see a vast improvement with his throwing, anticipation on throws. I think they have to win the NFC East. I think they at least have to win a playoff game. I mean, to show potential, and you're going to give this guy $40 to $45 million a year. Is that what you're going to do? No. As that's the big question right now. I don't think you need that much statistics, but yeah, I would like him to throw 3,600 to 3,800 yards. 28 to 35 touchdowns, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe 9 to 10 rushing touchdowns. So.
Definitely, and there was an interesting picture that I wanted to show that this is what we couldn't figure out how to get to work. But there's a picture they were showing today that's going around, and I'll put it in the Philly Shakedown clips that we do. I guess it had last year's picture of last year Jalen Hurts, and then they had a picture of this year's Jalen Hurts. And right. Dramatic, Joey. What would you say about these pictures?
He got bigger. Pause.
Joey liked the striations. The striations.
He got. I mean, I'm trying to say it without making it sound weird, but he
got a pause, dude.
I did pause. He did. His arms look bigger. I mean, his chest does. I mean, he looks like he's been working his tail. It sounds great and all. Pause, but you know what I mean.
Oh, I know, right? I hear you. Joey's getting all rattled. You see that? He's losing his mic. Things are happening over there. No, but in all seriousness, he looks like he's in great shape. But until he takes the field, until he's on the field, then we're going to find out. Joe Marucci says, I'm a firm believer if an injury is going to happen, it's going to happen. Can't worry about that. Just come together and as a team, however it takes. I agree. I think you can't worry about injuries like happening because they're going to happen. I think you do certain things like, last game of the season, you already clinched a playoff spot. You can't help. You sit a guy. I totally get it. Last preseason game, you sit him. But I think they got to play these guys, especially Jalen Hurts. I think he has to play in preseason, man.
He's not going to play. I think, but they're not. I feel like they're going to have been for two. Like I think we've talked about it a million times. They're going to have been for 2 series, and then that's it. If this was me right now with 3 preseason games, which I'm really happy that's not 4 anymore. It's 3 since last year. So you'd start him for a couple series the first game, make the second game the dress rehearsal, put him in for a half if you have to, and then the third game just sit him. Because you don't want this kid to be rusty first game. Because I feel like if they sit him,
right,
it's. I think he's going to be rusty first game unless they.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Fans is funny about it because I think the same thing, and I was thinking the same thing last year. But then they go out against Atlanta and they smoked Atlanta. Yeah. He looked great. So it's like, who knows? All I can say, like summing up about Jalen Hurts and the OTA so far, is that it seems like every step he's needed to take this offseason, it looks like he's done it. Plus, you add more weapons, and all of a sudden, hey, listen, you got something there. The only thing I do want to talk about too before we kind of talk about something else is Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. There were reports that maybe the chemistry does not look as good as maybe people would hope, or there was work to do. Are you concerned in any way about that?
No, I think that due in time, I think it's just going to get better. Yeah, it wasn't a great OTAs between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts because I think he overthrew him a couple times. And there wasn't a great – I think him and Devontae Smith connected really well. And, A.J. Brown and him been working out the past few off seasons, since he's been in the league. So, I mean, it's just – we're early in the stages right now, guys. I wouldn't panic about it. I think it's just – it's going to come naturally. Once Miami comes into town, we have the scrimmages. And, I think with more time, I think they're going to be fun. I
agree. I agree. I think Hurts is going to go out. I think he's going to have a great year. I'm expecting over 25 touchdowns. So we'll see. But so far, he is where we need him to be at coming out of OTAs. Yeah, striations, baby. You know about the striations and the chest and the us bodybuilders know about that. Jalen Hurts had a lot of striations.
Us bodybuilders.
Jalen striation hurt. Tyler says people acting like Rodgers never overthrew Adams or Brady never overthrew Mike Evans. Philly fans we're so on edge. We're so excited about this season that we're looking for anything to gauge whether it's going to be successful or not. I don't worry about OTAs and the overthrows and we mentioned AJ Brown and connection. I don't worry about any of those kind of things. Not even in the preseason, let alone OTAs. You know what I'm saying?
We're not saying that Jalen Hurts isn't going to make mistakes either, because he will. I mean, it's due to happening. I don't think anybody's perfect. Guys are going to make mistakes.
There you go. The Eagles could do big things, but we have a trash quarterback on the team, not going to do only so much. Listen, I don't understand how people can say this guy's complete trash. Like, he did take us to the playoffs. Okay, and if you want to say, well, he beat teams with bad records, well, he still beat the teams he was supposed to beat. No, I don't think we know if he's a trash quarterback. I don't think he's a trash quarterback. I think that people are judging him a little too quickly.
Well, you got to think of it like this, too. Like, it's not like he's had 2 full seasons. He's only played a year and a half of football. He was thrown in the fire in 2020 for 4 to 5 games, and he became the starter in 21. And this was coming off of virtual workouts and not being with the guys in the offseason. Like, it was a totally different world out there. I think we all know that by this time, okay?
Right.
They didn't have that camaraderie. Like, they came into camp. They didn't have much time together, and you know what I mean? Like, I think another full year. I'm not going to say, look, I've been in the middle between Jalen Hurts. My gut feeling says he's going to have a good year. But, there are flaws. And at the end of 2021, I thought he had flaws. I thought he got better, but the flaws were still there. So I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I think we don't know. I mean, legitimately got us to the playoffs last year. So, and here's the thing. If Jalen Hurts doesn't work out and he's struggling, I don't think it's a remote, like, I don't think it's a far-fetched idea to say that they put Minshew in. I don't think if you get to week 8 and week 9 and Jalen Hurts is struggling, I think that they'll pull him. I really do. I think it's possible. I honestly do. I don't think that he's got such a lot of weight, a lot of room to just go out and be bad every week. They put a lot of talent around him. So if people who say that he stinks really think that, then they should be prepared to see Minshew.
Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes Philly Shakedown.
Let's go.